The Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. So the drive there took 6 plays, and the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown.
The Steelers will be kicking off. Number 35, the deep return man.
Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now let's go! Green, 39!
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Here we go now. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now the Bengals on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming out. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. his 25th touchdown, tying him and Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll look to throw, and this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Really, McKinney? So McKinney is either very good or an absolute trash
the
bucket.
Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
Cochran doesn't get the goal. 2 things. First of all, Cochran doesn't get the goal to form a sack on the one drive he gets. Second of all, what was that dodge? Just run to the corner and he's fine. But he jukes right into the defender. Brilliant moves there, buddy. You definitely are showing your CTE issues.
Blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Double tight. 4 down.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And some room to roam now. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. He's at the 30, past the 20, and they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory.
Amazing run. See what happens when you don't juke into defenders?
An even 90 yards. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal.
3 down. Here we go now.
They're going to look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. Still searching for that first interception in this game and down on the scoreboard. Remember, they won last week, and a big reason why they had 3 picks.
And one characteristic I've always noticed about great defenses is that they want to be the ones that have a huge impact on the game and actually lead their teams to victory. So you just noted 3 interceptions last week and they won. And a little extra pressure that they're feeling right now because they haven't gotten those interceptions in this game and they're losing.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. They go for it on 4th and goal, but that winds up incomplete. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th. But they didn't get it.
Guaranteed.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Here we go now.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And these guys locked into that #1 seed. That's been a foregone conclusion for a while now. The question on everyone's mind, can they finish the regular season a perfect 16-0?
And it all comes back to philosophy of the organization, philosophy of the head coach, and, of course, the locker room itself. What do the players want to do? And I think what most teams would do in this situation is approach it, let's win every game, but let's be smart about doing it. So it doesn't mean that they're going to go all out if, indeed, they do need.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Elliott now to kick this one away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I think that was a pretty good read right there. They caught him in zone defense and went to the hitch. And because they're in zone, that creates a natural space between the defenders and the receiver, able to get it to him quickly and let him get upfield.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball.
How did you miss that interception opportunity?
But it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 40, the 30. And he will get into the end zone. It's
Another brilliant
touchdown.
run
This thing is
by
ugly.
Russ Gentry. He's ready for the play.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that will extend this big lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. And out now, here come the Bengals. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And the Steelers set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
They're throwing to start the drive.
Ow,
that one
has Clint Pete
and
not gone
he
down
knocked as he threw
due
it,
to injury
and it
after
took the
all the
ball
hits
off
Oh,
he's taken?
course. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And an alley to run. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They can now enjoy the final stages of this one. A very convincing win. I don't know what was said in the locker room, but whatever it was, it worked pretty well.
It certainly did, and there's probably a capper to everything that was said during the week, because they go over every eventuality. I mean, you know how coaches are. They want to cover every minute detail, all the way up to how much time does it take to walk from the locker room to the field, you name it. And when it all comes together and results in a victory, everyone feels pretty good about that.
Well, the I's were dotted, the T's were crossed in this one for them. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they'll go on the ground. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Should have done it one earlier. Could have gotten a field goal there.
Just always
Regular
fun in these
season.
elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So for the Steelers, they've indeed run the table here on the regular season. They finish a perfect 16-0, joining the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to ever do so. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, we'll have to see what happens as they're going to finish the year 10-6. And they'll get their shot at playoff.
So Gentry got it. Cool. Alright, well, we'll go over all this next episode. Till then.